darf wahrscheinlich die Host.
Yes. משפטים, okay.
Yes. Oh,
So Tali, is it
no.
chocolate?
Who is joining? What? Which
Chocolate?
Saba wants to know if it's
It
chocolate.
is. It's called fish food.
Okay, Mishpatim.
Hi,
Ahuva.
Saba.
Hi, everybody.
Saba, who has Corona?
Actually, Ahuva and I spoke a little bit about this, but it's going to be interesting, I think. What I'd like to do today is a very interesting thing.
Which sefer is it in?
Shmot.
It's Mishpatim is Shmot, Kaf Aleph. What I'd like to do today, I've never done this in this context before. Do the part of the Parsha, then go to the Haftarah, and then go to another part in Sefer Vayikra, and to get a sort of clue where all this is going. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, who wants to read Kaf Aleph Aleph?
I'll read. ואלה המשפטים אשר תשים לפניהם. כי תקנה עבד עברי 6 שנים יעבוד, ובשביעית יצא לחופשי חינם.
I think we should just stop right here. So, you have to understand, when we speak about slavery, we think about the blacks that were taken from Africa by the Arabs and brought them. But this is a little different. So let's think for a moment about what kind of Eved Ivri this is. So there are two reasons why a person is an Eved, either because he stole, and he couldn't pay back, or because he was so poverty-stricken that he sold himself. Now, in the ancient world, if you sold yourself, there was never a chance. You were finished for life. But even more interesting, in our world, if you steal, what happens to you? You go to jail.
Jail.
Get out on bail. You get out on bail reform.
Bail, but eventually you go to jail. So let's, for the sake of argument, say they give you a jail of 6 years. What do you do in jail? You see other prisoners. You see other people who stole. And what happens eventually when you come out? They give you, I think, $25 for bus service. So what do you do when you have that? You go back to steal again, because imagine if you could take a person and put him in together with a family. He has to work. That's not the kind of picture that you see in the slavery in the South. But it's basically a mechanism by which to rehabilitate a person rather than put him in jail for 6 years. And then, in the world where normally a slave was slave forever and his children forever, the Gemara says there was not one slave who ever escaped Egypt, not one. And you can see why. It was a police state. You got out, the police get you. This was in the world of that. The Chiddush was unbelievable, and it may be something that we internally can also learn. That if a person steals, rather than put him behind bars, let him join the family, let him to work, and then after 6 years he goes free, which is an unusual concept. Similarly, if a person can't afford anything, interesting thing, when the person goes out free, when does he actually go out? Anybody know what day? I'll give you a hint.
Rosh Hashanah.
When?
Rosh Hashanah.
No. When? Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, right? When we say Ne'ilah, the guy blows a shofar because it's the freedom for the slaves. And where does he go free though? Rosh Hashanah. Fascinating. This person does not just get out of jail and put in the street. He is finished. He is free, and he still stays with the family another 10 days. Mm. It is so far from anything that anybody in this world knows today, and that is one of the things that halakha comes in. In a sense, you will become part of the family. You become part of them. You're a slave to them, but you know that after X number of years, you're out of there, and you can start your life all over again. It's a very, very interesting thing. So the ideal situation is the way what happened in Mishpatim. The person works for 6 years and automatically, without having to do anything else, becomes what? Becomes free. Now let's go to Haftarah. The reality of it. Did this really happen like that? So who wants to read Haftarah?
Hold on, let's just find it.
What's the Haftarah?
It's from Yirmiyahu Lamed Aleph.
Jeremiah.
But I can read it.
Okay.
Okay. Should I start from the beginning?
Chet, Daphne.
Yes, this is fascinating. This will give you an insight into what's going on.
Okay. Hadavar asher haya al Yirmiyahu me'et Hashem asher kro hamelech Tzidkiyahu bret al kol ha'am asher b'Yerushalayim lekro lahem dror.
So now is it Tzidkiyahu? Who is Tzidkiyahu? Anybody know?
What pasuk are we on?
Chet.
It's in Mishpatim. Oh, it Yirmiyahu Lamed Daled. It's Haftarah.
Tzidkiyahu
Yes, it's
was
Haftarah.
Melech Yehuda, wasn't he?
It's Yirmiyahu Lamed Daled, Daphne, if you want to do that. You have it? Yeah.
Was Tzidkiyahu Melech Yehuda?
Who is Tzidkiyahu? Anybody know?
Was he a king in Yehuda?
He was not just a king, he was the last king of Yehuda. He was the one who, in whose lifetime, the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed. So prior to that, what does he do? Krot HaMelech Tzidkiyahu Brit. Who wants to read?
L'shlach ish et avdo.
Well, before that, Likro lahem dror. What's dror mean? Freedom. So now Tzidkiyahu takes along a brit with everyone to free everybody's slaves. What is it? L'shalach ish et avdo. Go ahead.
L'shlach ish et avdo v'ish et shivcho ha'ivri v'ha'ivriya chafshim lebilti aved bam b'yudi achiyu ish.
No more slavery amongst one another people. And he does a brit for it. What do they do?
Vayishma kol hasarim v'chol ha'am asher ba'u b'brit l'shlach ish et avdo v'ish et shivchato chafshim lebilti aved bam od v'yishmu v'yishlachu.
So they do what the king tells them. What you see next is amazing. Who wants to read the next piece?
What?
Go ahead.
וישובו אחרי כן, וישיבו את העבדים ואת השפחות אשר שילחו חופשים, ויכבשום לעבדים ולשפחות.
Unbelievable. They make a brit, they send them free, and they get them back. I mean, if you think about what the person thinks about it, finally got himself free, now they come back again. An unbelievable thing. And it's an interesting thing. Is this, just to give you a background, Yeshayahu speaks ben adam lechavero. He speaks generally about human beings being not right to each other. Yirmiyahu always speaks ben adam lamakom. He speaks about avodah zarah. He speaks about all these things. The only place in all of Yirmiyahu who speaks about ben adam lachavero is this Haftarah, where people let their slaves go and then re-enslave them. Anybody have an idea? Is that really completely ben adam lechavero?
No,
Why not, Daphne?
because you're acknowledging that
Who we are? We humans are avadim to whom?
to God, so that he's the
Hashem.
ultimate master, so you can't
The
keep a
ultimate.
slave forever.
And look at the whole praxis now. Yirmiyahu sees this behavior of enslaving another person against his will, because after 6 years he's out. It is ben adam lamakom. because I no longer can completely serve God my way. I've got to listen to somebody else. And you know what? The master is also Ben Makom, because he's now between this man and the God. So everybody loses out. Yirmiyahu has this particular thing in which, and why do you think Chachamim chose this Haftarah from Mishpatim?
Because it's exactly what it's talking
Because
about.
they didn't do it. They didn't do it. And what ultimately happened to Tzidkiyahu? The last king of the Jewish people?
They all go to Galut.
No, yeah, of course, but it was Churban HaBayit. In Tzidkiyahu's life. The most amazing thing. And he is brought up there when they torture him, whatever it is. Chazal had Haftarah because if you don't do Mishpatim, you're going to end up with a situation where people don't care. They're not going to be soldiers, obviously, for the society. And ultimately, the Beit HaMikdash will be destroyed. Tzidkiyahu. Tzidkiyahu was the last king of the Jewish people of the first temple. If you take a look at Haftarah, why Chazal chose that Haftarah from Mishpatim, it's clear. I'm giving you a system. Send them free after 6 years and make them stay inside the family and see what's going on. And if you don't do that, history is what it is. You can't get away. And it's interesting. It's Bedavka Tzidkiyahu, in whose lifetime, unfortunately, Beit HaMikdash was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, having said that, I want to do one jump further, which is very, very fascinating. And there, I'd like you to go now to Sefer Vayikra. Let's go. Let's start Sefer Vayikra. Oh, you know what? Let's do Perek Cafe, Pasuk Tet. Who wants to do it?
Pasuk Tet.
Pasuk Perek Cafe, Pasuk Tet.
והעברת שופר תרועה בחודש השביעי, בעשור לחודש ביום הכיפורים, תעבירו שופר בכל ארצכם.
So the idea is Yom Kippur. What do you do then? Blow shofar.
shofar.
Go ahead.
Stop my scroll.
וקידשתם.
Sorry, 1 second, Tala. וקידשתם את שנת ה-50 שנה, וקראתם דרור בארץ לכל יושביה.
לכל יושביה. Yovel hitya lachem. What is it? V'shavtem?
ושבתם איש אל אחוזתו ואיש אל משפחתו תשובו.
No more slavery that time. And it's Yom Kippur. And remember, we spoke about it, even though the year starts, Rosh Hashanah, I'm not just letting him go without anything. It has to be a familiar thing for 10 days. How are you? Where are you going to go? What's going to happen with you? So here you see clearly from Chumash what's happening. Now, however, now go to Perek Chafei, Pasuk Chafei.
Kafei?
Yes, please.
Should I read it?
Please, whoever wants to.
כי ימוך אחיך ומכר מאחוזתו ובא גואלו הקרוב אליו וגאל את ממכר אחיו.
This is the reality of life. Chi yamuch, מה זה yamuch? Be down. In any society, some are going to be very wealthy and some are just going to make it. For whatever reason, emotional, physical, whatever reason. So what does he have to, in a society, like what can you do if you don't have, you can't feed your family?
You sell your land.
You start throwing away your land. What does it do to you if you have no land? Next year, it's going to be even worse for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what comes out? Vagoalo v'ga'alotam. Halachically speaking, a person should have a relative who then helps him out and redeems his land so he can go make a land gain. Now let's go to Pasuk. Oh, Pasuk. It's beautiful. The amazing thing. Pasuk Kafchet.
I can read it.
Yes.
Mumatzaya do de hashiv lo v'hayam nimkaro b'yad hakona oto ad shna hayovel v'yata b'yovel v'shav lachudato.
Amazing. Let's say you don't have a, I don't know, a rich aunt who can buy back the land. You'll always get it back, no matter what. V'shav lachudato. Somehow there's a system in our religion that tries to help the person who's can't only go. Now watch this. Pasuk Lamed Hey.
I'll read it. V'ki yamucha achicha umatei yado imach
What does yamuch mean?
Again, that he's down.
He's down. So he sold his land, but now he still can't make it. What would you do? What would you do then? You have to go borrow money from somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if you don't have money to pay your credit card, do you know what the interest rate is in America?
No.
24%. That means if I can't make it and I borrow $100, I can't. Next month it'll be next year it'll be $124. So now I'm going to owe how much? $224.
Mm-hmm.
Do the math. I mean, within 5 years you're bankrupt. What's halacha? Lamed Vav.
אל תיקח מאיתו נשך ותרבית ויראת מאלוקיך וחי אחיך עמך.
You are not allowed to take interest. It's bad enough that he has to rent to borrow. Don't go when you lend him interest. It's the most amazing thing. You see a religion that is I don't think people realize what this really tells us. There is no society in the world where you go to any bank and you borrow money, or you go to any situation, you borrow money, you have to pay interest. Maybe 2%, but if it's in bank, if it's a credit card, it comes up. You are not allowed to. You cannot take interest. Okay? Now, it's so interesting. Let's go Pasuk. This is beautiful. Pasuk Lametet.
I can read it. V'chi yamuch achicha imcha v'nimkar
What
lach.
does Yamuch mean?
When he's down.
Down.
Even person down. He can't. He borrowed. Okay. So what does he do?
Nimkar lach lo tavod ba avoda eved.
He sells himself as a
Not-
slave. But I want you to look at him. He's not a slave. What is he? Pasuk Mem.
Kisachir kitoshavi.
What does Sachir mean? Anybody know Sachir is?
Like a paid worker.
Yeah. He may be a slave, but he's not. He's a worker. And you have to feed him and you have to make sure. And then Mem Aleph.
ויצא מעמך.
הוא בניו ושב אל משפחתו ולאחוזת ישוב. Amazing. And of course the obvious Membet.
Kiavadehim.
Kavadayhem. We can't do this. Now I'm going to show you something that is unbelievable. And that is Pasuk Mem Zayin.
Can I read it?
Please.
וכי תשיג יד גר ותושב עמך, ומך אחיך עמו, ונמכר לגר תושב עמך, או לעקר משפחת גר.
This is a situation where all of society is basically poor. I mean, you sell yourself to somebody, that person has to have money to feed you and stuff like that. Here the situation is the non-Jew is making money. And he has to sell himself to a non-Jew. Or le'eker mishpacha. Anybody know what eker mishpacha means? If you don't know, don't feel bad. To the church. He sells them to the church. He has no choice. What do you think his chances are ever to get out of that situation?
0.
0. They don't have to give you 6 years. They don't have to do yovel. They don't have to do anything to you. So amazing. This pasuk is amazing. Go ahead.
This is Memchet.
Memchet, yeah.
אחרי נמכר גאולה, תהיה
אחרי
לו.
נמכר?
גאולה תהיה לו.
I promise you, says God, there is a geula, even a situation that intrinsically cannot possibly go on. He sold himself to the church. Okay. אחרי נמכר, גאולה תהיה לו. How?
אחד מאחיו יגאלנו.
You'll find somebody who'll help him, or
דודו, או בן דודו יגאלנו, או משאב.
או דודו, או בן דודו יגאלנו. Okay, who will help him?
Someone from his family.
No, who is a dod? What's a dod?
An uncle.
What's a ben dod?
A cousin.
Cousin. The problem is, why on earth? So why do you choose those two? I mean, anybody. I mean, it's his grandmother, his aunt, why dodo uben dodo yigalenu? Now I'm going to have to, whoever knows how to write on the thing, wants to write down. Yeah, please. Can you write anything? Yeah.
Here, Daphne's sharing it.
What would you like?
You got the pencil? I mean, whatever that is there.
What would you like to write, Saba?
I want you to write dodo or ben dodo.
Okay.
Exactly the way it's written in the Chumash.
This might be hard with
I'll help you.
a marker. You want to be host?
No, I could do it. I could also write.
Yeah. Okay.
Next to it, you write dodo, I'll write ben dodo.
Okay. So
Exactly how it's written. No, there's no.
I'm writing it in print.
Oh, okay.
Duh.
No, but why'd you put the down? Why'd you put the vav in there? There's no vav there.
After there's no
I don't know.
vav.
There's no vav in there.
Daphna,
Say,
come on, there's no vav. Daphna.
Everyone, how do you spell it? Like this?
Dod is spelled do daled vav.
Dalid. Oh, it's gonna take another 20 minutes. Hold on. Dalid. My Hebrew school practice.
Good. Okay, so far
Not
so
even
good.
3D.
Okay, very good. The problem with that is that there's a vav missing there. Nachon?
Yep.
So let's take the last vav that is there below and put it where it's supposed to be. Yank out the last vav.
Okay, crossing it out. I'll
Yeah.
show
Well, do more. Just eliminate. Okay, and put it where it's supposed to be.
Notice how I did a different color, Daphna.
Now do the same thing downstairs in the other one.
Yeah, we did. Look, there's an X.
it. There's an X.
Okay.
That was
Shawnee's is a little bit more advanced than Daphna's. It's okay.
That's rude.
See how the dog. You see how the dog now is daled vav daled, and ben dodo is daled vav daled. You see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do me a favor, whoever, write that again one more time. Daled vav daled, so everyone can see it.
I beat you to it.
Oh my god, Daphna.
One is in script and one is in print.
Shawnee, how do you do that so fast?
She's a native
Okay.
speaker.
I'm a teacher.
Who wants to read this again now? The top one.
David.
There's something similar here.
What does it say there? Who is it?
David.
David.
Oh, Ben David Yigalenu.
Oh, yafeh.
Oh, Saba.
I'm telling you, no matter what it is, there will be Gelenu. There will always be Gula. Or Dodo or Ben Dodo. Don't think about the cousin and the aunt and the uncle. David or Ben David Yigalenu. That is the promise of our Mishpatim and the Haftarah and Pashot Behara.
יפה מאוד.
So,
Saba,
but that
in our
was that was
case-
in Vayikra.
And
That was
Vayik-
in
Yeah.
Vayikra. Those.
Saba, which
Beautiful.
writing do you prefer? This
I'm
one?
sorry?
Saba, in our case, the David
this
ben
one?
David
I
is our
can't hear.
uncle.
What's the question?
Daphne, you go ahead.
Which writing do you prefer, Saba? This one? With the
No,
arrows?
the point is it is an underlying symbol, and everybody can read Dodo or Ben Dodo over and over and over again
Right.
until the Balaturim points out this is David, and the whole idea of Geula is David uben David. And just to repeat from one point, we did this one before. In Sefer Ruth, what's the one word that appears over and over and over and over again? Goel, Geula, Yigal, over and over and over again. Goel, Goel, Goel. The whole Pelkut. And what's the last word in Ruth?
David.
Shai Holid et.
David.
David.
The Sefer Ruth has David, but Behar tells you, you think you're in an impossible situation. You sold yourself to the church. It's gone. You'll be there forever. Geulati yellow. Ododo or Ben Dodo. But the real person is David or Ben David. Gorgeous, no?
Saba, I don't know. This has nothing. I don't know if this is like in any source. Probably not. But maybe that has something to do with the vav in the Ve'ela Mishpatim. That vav.
I'm sorry, I
is
can't
like
hear. I can't hear. What is it?
Oh, sorry. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, talk a little slower so I can get.
Probably because she has COVID.
Okay.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
So it says like the Ve'ela HaMishpatim. So the vav seems like a little bit extra,
We
but maybe
spoke
that
about
vav
that.
is the dove is coming from the dod, that vav.
Okay, all right, you can do that. You can pull the vav there too, whichever way you want to do this. But there's clearly, and I have no trouble with that, but an underlying message. Don't
Wait,
give hope.
Saba,
Okay.
where in Vayikra is it? What's the pasuk?
In Bahar.
Obi's not feeling well, Sal.
I'll say in a second. It is in Perek Chafei, Pasuk Memtet.
Okay, thank you.
Magnificent, isn't it?
Very nice.
Yes, so nice, Saba.
Whoever thinks of something like this, but internally,
so cool.
there's a problem. Yes,
Thank you, Saba.
I think
Thank you.
Saba, I think Ovadia likes it also.
What's
I
that?
think I think Ovadia likes the idea also.
Is he
Talking
there?
in the background, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see him. Okay.
He's
Ovadia.
Hi.
Oh, hi there. Oh, my
Oh, no,
goodness.
it was-
Everybody good. Yafé מאוד. Yafé מאוד. Okay. We had snow this week, and you guys also had
We
snow.
also did,
I
yeah.
didn't have snow.
Why
They had a little dandruff.
Why did you have snow and we had snow? By your seafood oat snow. Tom.
Oh.
Okay, guys. But
Got
I think this Dodo and Ben Dodo is
Very
brilliant. It was pointed out to me by the Balaturim.
Mhm.
That underlying all of this, no matter who you are and what you are, there's always Geula.
Yafé מאוד.
Love you all.
Love that.
Darba,
Saba,
Saba.
it's so nice. Thank you so much.